Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining me. I'm Ruth Hull. I trained as a homeopathic doctor, and I'm now an integrative health consultant who helps people get control of their energy and get back their health, especially when they're struggling with burnout or fatigue. Today, I'm going to chat a little bit about what is called the 80-20 rule. I think a lot of you will know it as the idea that what you do 80% of the time is important. If you eat healthily 80% of the time, then you can have that 20% cheat and you can relax 20% of the time. But I'm actually going to change that around a bit, because those of you who are really struggling with ongoing chronic health conditions, I'm sure a lot of you already are eating really, really well, probably 90, even 100% of the time. I have clients who come to me and they have given up everything that they love. They eat so healthily, so cleanly. You could write a textbook on how well they eat and how well they're doing everything in their lives, but they still feel completely and utterly exhausted. They still don't have control of their health. So that 80%, that 80-20 rule doesn't always work like it should. Doesn't always work ideally. And so we're going to invert that a little bit, and we're going to change it and look at that tiny little 20% of something that is going on in your health, something that is going wrong in your body maybe, that is causing the majority of your symptoms, and that you should focus the majority of your energy. So let's just put that a little more clearly. I want to talk about what I like to call the kingpin of your health. A kingpin is that one thing that will be the success in whatever you do. It's that one thing you need to have success in whatever project you take on. So if your health is your project, you need to find that one thing, that one change that you should really focus on to get yourself healthy again, to get yourself well. So instead of doing things 80% of the time and having a 20% cheat or a 20%, downtime of a diet or something like that, rather focus 80% of your energy on one aspect of your health. Lots of us call it the root cause or the maintaining causes. Find out what's really, really going wrong with your health at a very deep level and focus your time and your energy on correcting that, and then everything else will fall into place. I'll just give you an example. A couple of years ago, I had a client come to me. She was on the outside an extremely healthy woman. She was in her 40s, mid-40s. She had children. And she was a little bit older than mid-40s, let's say late 40s. She had 3 children, and she exercised a lot. She ran regularly. She was very, very fit. She ate mainly vegetarian diet. She ate really, really well, a little bit of meat occasionally, mainly vegetarian, lots of vegetables, lots of fruit, very, very good diet. And she didn't have a lot of stress going on in her life. So she did everything right. She did everything that she should be doing to be healthy. But she came to me with chronic fatigue. She was utterly exhausted. She had a lot of joint pain. And she had a lot of abdominal bloating and gas. So whenever she ate, she would end up with a very, very swollen tummy. She had to undo the buttons if she was wearing trousers. Otherwise, she always wore elasticated skirts or dresses. That dreadful bloating, gas, wind, pain, fatigue, and a lot of joint pain. Why? Why is she suffering like this when not even 80%, I'd say 90 to 95% of the time she ate really, really well. She was very strict during the week. She ate really well during the week, and she exercised, and then she would just have a little bit of downtime on the weekends. So she did this 80-20 rule, and she still was not well. She was going to bed at 8 o'clock at night and just, really not happy with her health. So what I asked her to do, and this is what I suggest to you to do if you want to find your kingpin of your health, or find that tiny little 20% of what you should be focusing on, is to keep a journal. So I asked her to just actually what I do with all my clients is I sit with them and I go through what they ate today, what they ate yesterday, what they ate the day before. And we just wrote everything down, and we looked at her stresses, we looked at her lifestyle, and we put everything together and we looked for patterns. And once we had looked at all the patterns, we were able to identify that it was definitely something that she was eating that was leading to all the problems. And when I put the whole picture together of her lifestyle, of all the different things going on with her health, there was a big picture of underlying chronic inflammation and a leaky gut. So what we did over a course of a couple of months is we focused on the leaky gut, because that for her was the underlying problem of everything. You know, if you are eating really, really well and taking lots of supplements and you're still having gut issues, then maybe you've got a leaky gut, and that's something you should look at. If you have a leaky gut, you will have chronic inflammation. They all always go hand in hand, and that's that joint pain and fatigue, etc. So we just focused she focused 80% of her energy on getting healthy. 80% of that energy and time and focus was on her leaky gut, nothing else. So she just really, really went to town on the leaky gut, sorted out the leaky gut, and then everything improved. Her joint pain improved, her energy levels improved, and her abdominal bloating and gas and pain decreased. So you can see, by just finding what is the underlying problem, you can change everything else in your health. So look for that tiny little 20%, that little thing that is causing all the problems. The most common things that do cause sort of chronic health conditions, the most common sort of physiological processes that underlie a lot of health conditions are leaky gut. This is when what you eat, not what you eat, but basically the lining of your gut is too permeable, and it's letting molecules through the gut into the bloodstream that shouldn't be there. And this can cause chronic inflammation, it can cause food intolerances, and then all the symptoms that accompany that. So leaky gut is often a kingpin in people's health. It's one of the things that they need to really focus on, really sort out if they want to sort out their other health problems. Chronic inflammation is another big kingpin, another thing that people need to focus on. It can be caused by leaky gut, but there's also a lot of other things that can cause it. There's lots, and I will be doing lots of different videos and stuff like that on chronic inflammation. But some things that cause chronic inflammation would be certain medications can, gut dysbiosis, so if you have an overgrowth of the wrong microorganisms in your gut, if you are under a lot of stress, extreme stress pain can, if you've had surgery, that can. So there's lots of different factors that can cause chronic inflammation. So leaky gut, chronic inflammation, infections are another big kingpin in people's health. If you have an underlying chronic ongoing infection, especially a gut infection, this will cause a lot of other problems in your health, and you won't be able to resolve those problems until you've sorted out that infection. And I'm just trying to think, blood sugar imbalances. That's often, very, very often, a big problem in people's health. If their blood sugars are not under control, then they will have a lot of problems related to stress. They will have a lot of energy crashes, a lot of problems with concentration, foggy brain. You can even get adrenal fatigue from blood sugar imbalances. Even disorders or conditions like Alzheimer's, polycystic ovarian syndrome, all of these are related to your blood sugars. So blood sugars are a big kingpin in your health. And if you look in the description of today's chat, of today's video, you'll see a link to a free 5-day challenge I do for people who want to get control of their blood sugars. So you can sign up for that and join me, and I'll walk you through step by step how to really get your blood sugars under control. And it is free. And so blood sugars is a big kingpin. And stress. Stress is another huge kingpin in people's health. I'm sure I don't have to tell you all how damaging stress is to your life. But if you are under a lot of stress, you're going to have blood sugar problems. You are probably not going to be sleeping well. Your energy will go down. There'll be a whole load of health conditions that come from stress. So those are some examples of those small 20% problems that cause huge problems in your body. And if you can focus on those, focus 80% of your energy on those kingpins, then your health will improve. So just to recap, just to, before I close, give you a few little steps, few action steps you can take. First thing is to keep a journal. Write down, get a notebook, or put a piece of paper on your fridge. A lot of my clients find that's really helpful. Just get a piece of paper, stick it on your fridge, or open a little note on your phone. And for, I would say, at least a week, do it for at least a week. Everything you eat, everything you drink, you record. Every time you have a really bad symptom of your condition, so if you are struggling with joint pain, when your joints feel worse, write down the time. Is it at night? Are you waking up at night from joint pain? Or are you waking up at night from abdominal cramps? Something like that. Just record the time when your symptoms, whatever they are worst. If it is brain fog or poor memory, is that when you wake up in the morning, or is that later in the afternoon or after lunch or in the evening? So record the time. And then also write down in your journal what exercise you've done, or what sort of physical movement you've done, and what stresses you have had that day. Basically, what you're recording is anything to do with the 4 pillars of health. I'm sure you all know that term, the 4 pillars of health. It's the 4 things that are integral to having a healthy body and a healthy mind. And just to go over them quickly, the first pillar is nutrition, what you eat and what you drink. The second is sleep. So also record your sleep patterns on that piece of paper. The third is movement or exercise. Just, you don't have to go running and stuff every day. I'm just saying record what you do, what you're currently doing. We're not trying to change anything. We're trying to record what you're currently doing. So what form of movement you're doing, what exercise you're doing. If you're not doing any, just say none. And the 4th pillar of health is relaxation and your ability to cope with stress. So here you can record any stressful events of the day. Your boss shouted at you, you got cut off in traffic, your kids left their lunchboxes at home and there were tears, whatever. Just record it all. So keep a journal or a piece of paper on the fridge or little notes on your phone, and everything you eat and drink, your sleep for the day, your stresses for the day, your movement for the day, and the times of day when anything happens. After a couple of days, sit down and go through everything and look for patterns. Look for patterns of what is happening when. And from those patterns, you'll be able to work out what is causing the problems in your health. You might need somebody to help you here. So if you have a healthcare professional who can spend some time with you, book an appointment with them. I always spend a good hour to an hour and a half with my clients the first time they come to me, and I go through this with them. So whoever is your healthcare provider, if you can take this journal to them, you will make their lives so much easier, and they will be able to help you on a much deeper level because they'll be able to see the patterns quickly. Once you've found those patterns, you'll be able to see what is really causing that underlying problem? Is it chronic inflammation? Is it a leaky gut? Is it your blood sugars? Is it stress? Is it an infection? And once you know what is really, really that main aggravating factor, that root cause, then focus 80% of your time and energy on your health journey on this. Once you've sorted it out, everything else will start falling into place and will be easier to cope with. So yeah, I hope that's helped a bit. Just remember, keep a journal for a while, look at patterns, find the cause, and focus 80% of your energy on that cause. And yeah, that's it for now. Do join me on my free 5-day challenge to help you balance your blood sugars. And if you need a lot more help with your health, then please join me on my online course, The Art of Creating Energy. I run this twice a year, and I go through all these big underlying factors, and each week I help you really get to grips with what is going on with your health, and I give you really, really clear, simple, step-by-step health protocol to follow so that you can get your health up where you want it to be and you can get your energy back. Thanks for listening, and I'll chat again next week. Bye.